Hey gang, Ross Brand here for Livestreamuniverse.com. Welcome to Livestream Stars. This is the show where we feature talented broadcasters delivering high-quality content across Livestream platforms. And our guest tonight is Cathy Nolan. She's not on screen now, but she's setting up because she's going to draw me as we do the interview. So at the end of the show, you'll see a caricature, an illustration of some sort of me, and we'll see how that comes out. But I'm really excited to have Cathy here, and we'll get into bringing her on in just a second. We do have to tell you that the voting is wrapping up shortly for South by Southwest, so if you haven't had a chance to vote for us, please do vote. Myself, Coach Jenny, Monique Johnson, and Karen Graves are proposing a panel for South by Southwest all about live streaming, Facebook Live, build your tribes, and actually make money. And you can vote for us. Hey, Cathy, great to see you.
Hi, how are you, Ross? Good to see you.
My bad. That was Kathy Klatt's guest. Oh. Kathy Klatt's guest. I'm sorry, Cathy. I will bring you on in just 1 second.
No problem.
That was not well done by me. So anyway, gang, livestreamuniverse.com/SXSW, livestreamuniverse.com/SXSW. Please do vote for us. Hey, Michael A. Campbell, welcome. Great to see you. Great to see some fans from the Never Settle show here. And again, please do vote for us. You see the address to vote for us on the screen. Please do vote for us for South by Southwest. And tonight's show, as always, is brought to you by Livestream Universe. Check it out, livestreamuniverse.com, and we have a lot of resources on the website for your live streaming broadcasts and things you can learn as well. So again, livestreamuniverse.com/resources. So with that, let's bring in our guest star tonight. I am so excited to welcome in Cathy Nolan. Cathy Nolan is just a wonderful person. First, let me say that when I met Cathy for the first time on the set of the Never Settle show, but obviously I had known of her and she had known of me before. And, you know, when you start out doing something on a show like that, it's busy and there's a lot going on. And Cathy couldn't have been like nicer and more welcoming and everything. And I knew, like, all right, as long as I get to interview Cathy each show, I'm going to be off to a good start, and then whatever happens from there will happen. So welcome, Cathy. It's so great to have you on the show, and this is something different. You're going to be drawing me as we do this show.
I got my pen ready for you. And I have to say, everybody, Ross was so patient with me because on the Never Settle show, that's when we first met, and the producers would ask me to draw like 2 people, then like another thing, all before the show started. So I always made time for Ross, but I also felt bad because I could have spent more time with him, like just talking, and I couldn't because I was just under so much pressure to get so much done before the shooting really actually started. So thank you for your patience, Ross. I really appreciated it.
Thank you for making me feel welcome and for spending time before every show. It was a lot of fun. And seeing how it came together and then seeing the end result, you're just so talented that it really
thank you.
Amazing. Hey, Tina. Hey, Chris Strub.
Tina, Chris.
Welcome. Welcome, Doug Cohen. Eduardo Guerra. Everybody's here. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Please do share this out. Let people know that Cathy is with us, and we're so glad to have Cathy with us. She's been a caricaturist and an illustrator for over 20 years with her love for art and making people smile. Cathy's work has brought joy to clients worldwide. She's a popular live streamer. You can find her at Cathy Nolan Art on Periscope and Twitter, and she served as a cast member and illustrator on Mario Armstrong's groundbreaking Never Settle show on Facebook Live. She also has a history of working with high-profile clients and making TV appearances, including on ABC News. Cathy also knows the business side of the art world, from art licensing and product development to helping other artists build their businesses and consulting with them on their portfolios, so we can get into everything related to the business side of art, which also relates to what live streamers need to think about if their show starts to take off and they start to have something that is a product that's in demand. What does that all mean, right? Then it's no longer just about the creative process. It's about branding. It's about how you get paid and how people find you and what your product's worth and all that. And speaking of products, right, we had such a great time, as we were saying, together working on the Never Settle show. And I was wondering, as a cast member, if you've heard anything about a potential season 2.
All I know right now is they're shooting for season 2 to be sometime in September, probably later in the month. They're reevaluating what went great during season 1 and how they can make it even better for season 2. But so far, we just know that Mario needed a well-deserved vacation.
Oh, yeah.
He put his heart and his soul into the show. And so he's, sometimes after you put so much in your dream, and it goes amazingly well. And then you just need that time to reflect and sort of like, okay, where do we go from here? And I think that's the stage that the show is in right now. I have no doubt it will be back and up and running. But as of this time, it's still summer, still August. So I'm sure when we all get the green light to go ahead, we will all be there. So,
yeah.
So he needs a well-deserved vacation for sure. So
absolutely. And as we were talking off the air, and everybody else that I've talked to who's either attended the show or been a part of the crew or the cast or whatever that I've talked to over the summer has just loved the experience. I mean,
that was the thing. There was like maybe 35 of all of us, including the crew members and the director and the producers, and everybody just got on well. There was no drama. It was really, everybody was super friendly. And I think it was because we all had that common goal of making this the best show ever, live streaming as well as with the studio audience, because we all knew how important this was for Mario. And just for the audience, it was just like being part of that experience was such a gift and such a wonderful experience for all of us. I mean, I can't speak for you, Ross, but for me, it was like, first of all, meeting all the amazing people.
Right.
Second, just the content that Mario was giving us on business tips or how to stay positive when you get so many no's and rejections. And I know what that's like,
right.
submitting material to publishers and stuff. Or how do you find the right people to collaborate with? Or meeting different people with different experiences in life. So for me, just drawing out their stories and even drawing them was such an honor. And it was a wonderful time to just sort of, be part of that. What did you enjoy of that, Ross?
I enjoyed the whole experience. Because usually from going to see TV shows, I'm getting all choked up. It was that great.
Oh, don't cry.
Excuse me. No cough button here. So if it happens, you're just going to hear it. No, when I mean, typically when I've gone to watch a TV show, they walk you in, right? There's this sort of, and Cathy is drawing me as we speak.
See, yeah.
So, let me put it on solo. You can hold it up. I'm putting it on solo for a second.
Okay.
There you go.
Aaron, how are you? Good to see you, buddy.
Welcome, Aaron. So what I was saying was that normally when you would go to a TV show, they bring you in before the show starts. There's somebody who warms up the crowd and tells you when to clap. And the host comes out, keeps his distance or her distance, maybe says a joke or two or something. And then really you're just spectators, right? This was an experience, whether you were working on the show, you were an attendee, you were a guest on the show, you were a cast member. From the pre-show event, which had networking and a wine bar and music and everything, through the show where Mario was constantly going through the crowd and talking to people and getting their feedback and getting their opinion and bringing them on. camera to the post show in which, you know, everybody hung around and chatted and was so accessible afterwards. It really was a special experience for the people that were there. And I think you couldn't come away from a show not feeling a little bit uplifted and a little bit excited to go a little harder after what you were working on. And I think that's what stood out for me, that it was hard work being at all a part of a live show. And I mean, my doing the pre-show and the post-show, like, while other people were all working, right? Or filing in, it's like you don't know who you're going to get, and you make sure you don't trip over something.
All those wires were
right. So there were like a lot of things going on and whatever, but you couldn't help at the end of it coming away feeling inspired by the message, by what Mario was trying to do for live streaming, and from all the different entrepreneurs and people who were making a difference. And it really was an amazing experience. I mean, I wouldn't trade it for the world, having been part of that.
Oh, me either. What's really fun is the wine lady lives down the street from me. So we got to meet up afterwards.
Oh, that's awesome.
Cool. Same street, same block, same neighborhood. And then the other funny thing was, I agree, like, you just left feeling so good after every show. And, you know, it was just such a positive experience. And, like Joanne Pham, the founder of the Perry Girls, I got her to come because she was in town. I'm like, no, you don't understand. You have to come to this show. You will be so thankful you did, you know. And she won some like cute stuffed emojis, and I mean, it was just such a good experience. And I was telling all the people, like, you got to come. It's an amazing show, and the crowds were always full, and it was just a great experience. It really was. And for you, how was that, like, interviewing people? Were you kind of like on the fly, or like did they sort of give you a heads up? This is who's coming, or how? I mean, like, how did
they would give me a heads up, like, to some of the guests and things like that. But what was interesting is the guests didn't come in, and certainly the people who were attendees often didn't come up until a half an hour into the show. So it was a lot of just, you know, are they going to be here in time before the pre-show ends? And
will they or won't they show up? You know?
Right. I mean, obviously somebody like Damon John didn't just walk into the event. He came in through a side entrance, so I didn't get a chance to catch him. But most of the people, I got a chance to talk to them either before or after the show. And I mean, everybody was so gracious with their time. And I always felt like I had like an instant rapport with the people that Mario had on the show, whether they were the guests or they were attendees or they were, you know, cast and crew and whatever. It just really flowed really naturally talking to the people, and everybody was really excited to be there and like a sense of purpose and wanting to see this live streaming show take off. And that's what made it really, really like roll, kind of. The show just went right, and all of a sudden it's like, wow, I was just on for an hour, and it was like, you know,
it went by so fast. And I thought it was also cool with the products they were giving away to the studio audience members. Like, what a great way to promote your product and to promote, you know, like, I still have like several of the hair conditioner, and I love it. And I'm like, where can I get this after the show? You know, so like just some of the little products that we were able to, that the audience members were able to take back. I thought that was fantastic because it was about promoting like the bags from, I forgot the name of it. Started with a K. And
Nomo.
Yes. And then and then the pajamas. Do you remember when he like had the pajamas?
That was the best. I got a picture of that when he just took off his work clothes, so to speak, and he was in pajamas.
Now, how did you get involved? Did you reach out to Mario, or like, what's your story with how you met Mario on the Never Settle?
Actually, he was on Livestream Stars. Awesome. I had him on, I guess about a week before, and we were promoting what he was doing, and he was talking about the pre-show event, and I didn't really understand what he meant, like event and networking and stuff.
So you were like, what?
I asked him off the air, and I was like, well, do you have anybody to interview? And he's like, you know, to interview people during the pre-show on the red carpet and stuff like that. And he said, no, we'd love for you to do that or whatever.
Oh,
And it was like, so it came together like at the last minute, and yeah, it was a blast. Hey, you're going to be speaking this Friday, another big event for the live streaming community. Ladies Go Live.
yeah.
It takes place on Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern. Had a chance to speak with Tina and Jen Nelson over the weekend, and they're really excited. I know that is Tina's profile picture. Tell us what you're going to be talking about on Ladies Go Live. And
Thank you. So I'm obviously going to be on the creative panel, and Tina will be moderating, and Babylon Brooke will be on the panel with me, and Tina's just going to be asking us questions, I think, about how to get creative when you're live streaming, how can a creative person do, like, just all aspects of live streaming. How do you get creative with your topics to think of when you're going to live stream, or how do you make money live streaming? That's just one small component, the creative panel. There'll be a business panel about how you can monetize what you're doing through live streaming. There's also going to be a special, it's that funny word. It's educational and inspirational, and there's a word that they named it, inspirational or something. Tina will.
I thought that was a typo when I was introing.
No. And what's really amazing is it's going to be women from all over the world. And as Tina had this idea because, as she told you in the interview, long story short, we were scheduled to be on a creative inspiration. That's it. Thank you, Tina. We were scheduled to be on the creative panel for a summit that didn't fly. And so she and I were talking, and she was like, maybe we should just inspire women, and men, of course, are welcome to this as well.
Right.
Let's just inspire women to live stream. And so I think that was the catalyst of making lemonade out of a lemon situation. Right. We were all kind of disappointed that things didn't occur, but at the same time, it was an opportunity. And so Zan and I and Tina Verlette were on the call, and Tina was like, this is my idea. Ladies Go Live. And all the women, Jen Nelson, Lottie and Zan and Tina Verlette, they've done an amazing job with all their strengths, working together and making this happen, which is going to be this Friday. So I'm going to do a little promo, live streaming, maybe drawing one or two people just to showcase that. And then we'll be speaking on the creative panel, and just about creativity, the importance of being creative, how to think outside of the box, challenging yourself to think things a little bit more outside of the box, and also how to use that creativity to maybe do that elevator pitch to that brand new sponsor you want to hit up.
Right.
There's different ways you can kind of make yourself stand out, and I feel like creativity can really help. And I'll be sharing some stories on that, of how I got to work with brands and stuff like that.
That's awesome. Ladies Go Live. You can get your free pass to watch the entire thing at ladiesgolive.com. Again, it's Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern, and there's also an after party as well, and Cathy and a lot of other great people will be speaking. There'll be women from all over the world. Every continent except Antarctica is represented, and as soon as somebody learns to stream in that kind of climate, I'm sure they'll have somebody from there as well. And we also do want to remind you that the voting for South by Southwest is wrapping up as well. If you haven't had a chance to vote for our team, I
voted.
Myself. Yes, you did. It's myself, Coach Jenny, Monique Johnson, and Karen Graves. We're proposing a panel about Facebook Live and live streaming for business. We would love your support. You can vote for us at livestreamuniverse.com, livestreamuniverse.com/SXSW, livestreamuniverse.com/SXSW. So, Cathy, you talked about sponsorship and things like that. And, of course, there is the creative side of art and live streaming and broadcasting and all these other wonderful creative endeavors that people in our community are working on. And then there's the reality of the business side of it, as you mentioned, sponsorships and things like that.
Right.
Talk about how you started learning about that, and then how you got to the point where you could really teach other people about how to handle the business side of being an artistic or creative person.
Well, I've been doing this for a long time, making money with my art. It started on a dare in college where there was this state fair going on, and my buddy was like, "Hey, Cathy, I dare you to like do the state fair and draw people." Because in college, I would just draw people for like extra, like just for fun. And so it was one of those serendipitous things where I had $100 at the time. This was like a million years ago, like 25 years ago. And within that week, I was drawing and talking with people, and I grossed like $1,000 that week. And I'm like 18, 19, 20 years old, thinking, whoa, I can make money doing what I love to do. So I think from just a very early age, I was like, oh, as a creative person, I can make money as a business because people are going to pay for what I'm able to produce for them creatively. So I remember like starting, my father's a very financial guy, so he kind of would walk me through basically when you're starting out a business, you kind of want to get all your ducks in a row. You can start off by yourself and get a good accountant, learning the trade of your state, like I lived in Illinois at the time, and so I had to like figure out with the state of Illinois how to do taxes, how to do this, and then you just build on that. So I think personally, word of mouth marketing is the best way to start your business. Get people to know who you are and what you do, and have like your niche. I feel like your niche thing. So my niche is drawing people and for businesses as well as for corporations. I've done work for ABC News and Macy's and Dick Blick, but also building personal relationships. It's really key to be doing that because you want to serve others with your talents, and you don't have to be an artist to be creative. I hope I'm answering your question, but it's just okay. So, and with live streaming now, what I feel is really important about that, I heard about live streaming in 2015. Kim Garst I follow, and I've been one of her clients for a few years, and she's just amazing. And I found out about Periscope through her. And so I signed up for her Periscope Profit class, how to do Periscope and make money with it. And so basically I was learning about the technology. And then through that live streaming, you do get to meet amazing people from all over the world, which didn't even exist having this platform 20 years ago. So through those relationships, and I really go back to saying relationships, it's really about relationships and building that, having people know who you are, what you do, and what you're willing, how you serve others, really. And it always goes back to that. But creative people can certainly hire people like an accountant to do the numbers, or somebody to help them with their scheduling, like get a virtual assistant. So there's many ways. I just think for people who want to get started, just start small. Start with your local area. Like I started in my local area on that dare in the county state fair, and that built my confidence at a young age. And then I went to college in Michigan, but then when I was back in Illinois, I just did all these art shows and art festivals. And then I had to figure out, and I was drawing like some crazy people too. Like when you do festivals, you meet a lot of characters. Oh my God. I could tell you some stories about that. But long story short, and I think just by doing, you just have to get off your duff and just start doing, and you learn as you go. You learn as you go about how you manage your money, how to do your business, how to hire somebody to help you. But just trust yourself too. You have to just trust yourself that you're going on that path, and you'll be guided.
Right.
People will pop up in your life that are there to help you. So that's a very long-winded answer to your question.
Right. So live streaming comes along, and basically you say this is a way to get what I do and who I am in front of a whole new group of people who would otherwise I would never come into contact with.
Exactly. Yeah. And so I met Kayvon Bakur at the Periscope Summit, who's the inventor of Periscope. And a funny story with that was I was just drawing him, and he actually popped in on my scope. So I was like, oh my God, the guy I'm drawing is like here, the CEO of Periscope. And it was really fun to like have, like, I was like, well, Kayvon, you're here. Like, do you want a red shirt or a blue shirt? Like that interaction. And that would never have happened without live streaming, you know.
Right.
Back in those days when I was younger, it was all snail mail, mailing things out. But I feel like video is really taking off. It's fascinating. Only like only 3%, I think, of people are doing it now, but it's definitely going to be growing. And I do believe that you do meet a lot of interesting, fascinating people. Like when I was live streaming for ABC News, I would just be drawing people, hearing their stories. Who are you voting for and why?
Yeah.
And I could never have that type of experience live streaming, you know, back. So I guess what I'm just saying is you do meet amazing people all over the world. I drew Chocolate Johnny, who's based in Australia. You know, he's a great guy. Sent him a little package. He loves Star Wars, so I kind of like drew a bunch of Star Wars characters for him. But like, I would have never met Chocolate Johnny, like, you know, without live streaming. And you do meet amazing people. You really do. And that's what's wonderful about live streaming, is that it gives you the opportunity to showcase who you are, showcase people what you do, and helping others by what you're doing. And then building those relationships, you know, and like we met through live streaming when you think about it. I mean, but that was the first live streaming show with a TV studio audience. That was amazing. So, and you've met a lot of people, I'm sure too, like Andrea, who I love, and Michael C. Campbell, and Chris Strubb, and just a lot of really
people that I talk to on a daily basis. And when I say talk to, it's mostly virtual, but it's sometimes on the phone and it's sometimes getting together in person. But you know, the vast majority of people that I'm interacting with through social media or through messaging in one form or another are people that I've met in the last couple of years through live streaming.
Yeah, and I feel like you meet more people in a more condensed, I don't know how to explain it. Like, you just meet more people doing like a 20-minute live stream than I think when you go to a networking party live. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like you have the opportunity to meet a lot more people and engage with them. And so I like seeing live streaming as a marketing tool too. You know, I use Periscope mostly for marketing, but also to meet people and build relationships with them also. And it has helped my business. And by having that experience when I was drawing for ABC News for the national election, you know, I already had that experience live streaming. So I knew how you're supposed to conduct yourself in front of a camera, and you know, you want to give people, you know, value for what you're doing, whether it's an educational component or entertainment component, or just, you know, a dialogue component. Like, you're talking about something that's maybe on your mind, and you've got people going, yeah, I get it. You know, it starts a dialogue with things, you know? So, yeah, it's been interesting to see how live streaming has really gotten, you know, more noticed, I guess.
Where do you see it going? I mean, do you see it being something that, you know, every business or most businesses will get into?
I do. I really do. And I think corporations are slowly still, like, the TV people are still like, oh, live streaming, you know. But I think they're slowly getting it, that it's a wonderful technique and way to really showcase. I mean, like, a lot of shows are being streamlined now on the internet. So I do think that's the future. I really do. I think live streaming is going to be part of the future for sure. And there'll be just more and more of it. And I do feel that live streaming, you know, like, just just this past year, you'll see more periscopes and Facebook live streams from like celebrities now, and
Right.
I do think it's going to be the future.
And I mean, they can, what they're seeing is, rather than all the effort it takes to get booked on a TV show and travel to the TV show and then get their 10 minutes and then walk away disappointed that they didn't get to talk about everything they really wanted to talk about, that they can go on a live stream and talk for 40 minutes, get their message out directly without having to go through editing and all that kind of stuff, and then still walk away with having tens of thousands of people having watched it, because celebrities will get huge view numbers at times, and they'll walk away with that, and I think the ROI for them is often greater than going on a cable TV news show or whatever, which we think the whole world is watching, but in fact, the numbers for a lot of these shows really isn't all that high when you think that we're in the U.S. in a country of 300 million, 325 million, something like that. And you have, 700,000 to 1 million people maybe watching a show. And how many of them are actually interested in what the guest is talking about and whatever. Whereas somebody who sits on their Facebook Live for 10 minutes or 15 minutes is really their target audience, right?
Right, exactly. And I also think for production costs, when you put together a TV show, it will, thank you, Eduardo, but when you put on a TV show, there's a lot of money with the crew and the equipment and the materials, whereas live streaming, you just need your phone. I mean, right. You just need your phone, maybe a good mic and headphones and lighting, but it costs a lot less to be live streaming, I feel, and you can create your own show.
Right.
Maybe get picked up by a national audience distribution, have more distribution through a national broadcaster. So
certainly you can show what you can do. I mean, I don't know, what was it, 15 years ago or 12 years ago or something? I wanted to I wanted to send out what we would call a demo tape or a resume tape. I was working in radio and I wanted to reach out to a different network, and I had to figure out, how do I get studio time to record what I wanted to send them, which was different than what I was doing. And it was like a real, like, okay, where do I go to record it? When can I get in? I can't do it at work because people are around and they're going to be like, what are you doing in that studio? Yeah. Oh, that's okay. I'm working on getting out of here. No. So, basically what I'm saying is, it's not that long ago.
No, it's not.
And now, I mean, somebody can go to my channel. I can just send them a link. Like, you want to see how I host this? If that was what I wanted to do now, I could just send them a link and go, okay, take a look at this interview with Cathy that I did. It's an hour long. Pick any 5 minutes and you'll get an idea of, right? But
yeah, exactly. And when you send that submission to somebody, they're going to see you, they're going to feel you, they're going to like catch your vibe, and because it's video, it's like you're really actually talking to that person doing your pitch or whatever. Right. And I do think that that's going to be changing the way business will be done in the future. It might go slow for now, right. And then, I don't know, some year it's just going to really take off, like mobile cell phones. Whoever thought 15 years ago, well, I guess we had those clamshell phones back in those days.
Right.
But like, I remember back in the late 90s, like going out with my friends in New York City, and I say to them, how did we do that? Like, we didn't have phones at all. And now with live streaming, like everything's now with your mobile phone. I don't know about you, Ross, but I can't be away from my phone for too long. I get like, it's like part of you now. And I think that's also part of the future, you know, like if you don't have your phone, it's like, oh my God, where did my phone go? You know,
you can't not have your phone.
yeah, whether it's a Samsung, iPhone, whatever.
No, it used to be like if you had your car breaks down on the side of the road, you had to hope somebody nice like pulled up and gave you a ride to the nearest place where you could call a relative and a tow truck and all that stuff. And now it's like you're sitting there and you're waiting for somebody to tow it, and you're sitting there and you're working, right? And you've sent 5 emails and agreed to a proposal and all. It's like it's the world's changed and things are going so fast. But for business, taking the same kind of thing, like I was talking about for somebody who wanted to work in broadcasting, taking for a business, instead of going and spending $20,000 on an infomercial and all that, you can spend $0 other than what it costs you in, person hours or whatever, right? And just go live every day and talk to people who are probably, fewer people than would see an infomercial on TV. But how many people who just happen to be up at 3 a.m. really care about your service or your product or whatever? Whereas the people who join on, even if they're 10 or 20 or 30 or 40, obviously if they stick with it, they're interested, right? And over time they get to know you and whatever, and you haven't broken your budget to do that. So it gives a small business a chance to compete in a way that they never had before when it comes to getting their message out beyond people who are in their small network.
Yeah, and like Eduardo just wrote something about Zoom. I love Zoom. It's crystal clear. And what I love about Zoom is you can have like a panel discussion or a meeting. You could send a video to that potential broadcaster, and then in your email, say, here's a quick video of what I do and who I am. If you're interested, we can do a quick Zoom call. Here's the link for work for you. This date, just always get 3 options, this date, or this date and time. I'd be surprised if they didn't respond to that, because you're making it convenient for that person to pitch to them about who you are and what you're able to do. And yeah, Zoom I love, though. I love Zoom. I think that's a really easy way to do a quick video of yourself. There's, people doing it from their phones. You can do Zoom from your phone, which is awesome. Right. Do.
And the thing is, if you do Zoom, depending on what account you have, you can push it out to Facebook Live so the Facebook Live audience can see it if you want to for a live stream, obviously not for a confidential business meeting or something. Right. But also you get their video. So if you did like a solo live stream through Zoom, right, you get the higher quality video that Zoom records that you can download versus downloading just what goes out. Yeah, Facebook Live.
Zoom kind of helped me out recently because I took a course. It was amazing. And the person who ran the course was saying, hey, send me a testimonial, a video testimonial. And so at first I panicked because I was like, well, how am I going to do this? And one of the people who took the course, there was like a group of us that took this course, said, I did my testimonial on Zoom, super easy. And I was like, oh my gosh, what a great idea. I would have never thought of that. So if you're reluctant to do it from your phone, you can just quickly go to your desktop, do the free download. It's free for the first 45 minutes. And Zoom is also good to talk through MailChimp. Yeah, I think Zoom's a little less complicated than MailChimp. Just kidding. But I just really do like Zoom a lot. I was in a mastermind group last year, and it was just great to see other faces and have everybody have their turn to speak in the mastermind. And I think I don't know, do you like Zoom better than Skype, or do you still like using Skype?
It depends for what purpose, right? Okay. Zoom makes it easier to have multiple people.
That's true.
But if
Skype only has like 2 people, right?
Skype, if you have 2 people, from a broadcasting standpoint, I think the audio and video quality is unmatched on Skype. There's no other app like that that is the quality of Skype when it's working well and everything else.
Okay.
But Zoom makes it easy and it's pretty good quality. So
Yeah.
I would say, like, for a lot of things, using Zoom is
The
a great option, right? Because Skype is a little more complicated, and I also like Appear In very much for meetings because nobody needs to download an app. They don't need anything other than a link, and they're in, and it's very easy, and you can lock the door. So how's it coming? What do you have there?
It's pretty good. I could draw you saying something else, or you guys tell me what else I should add to the drawing.
Okay.
Do we want the audience to tell me?
Why not? And hopefully you'll choose something that is not completely unflattering.
Well, you're not wearing a dress, that's for sure.
Okay.
And let's see.
Now, guys, go ahead and throw in the chat what you want to have me saying or doing or whatever Cathy can do to customize it.
One more thing that he should be saying. I have you saying something, but I've got room for something else. So Sabrina, if you have any ideas, or Eduardo, or anybody else who's watching, Aaron Roth, what else could Ross be saying? I've got you saying so far, watch me live on livestreamuniverse.com. Or do you have something that you enjoy doing or drinking? Like, what else do you, oh, I missed that comment. What was the comment? Sorry, I was like eking at your name.
Oh, Eduardo says a mic is a must.
Oh, yeah. Don't worry. Oh, I should have had you drop in the mic. I love that expression, drop the mic. Like, that is so amazing. But I've heard
I did that at Summit Live. There was this session at night where we went off.
The one in San Francisco?
No, the most recent one in LA.
Oh, I missed that one.
We went off site and we had an opportunity to get some B-roll of us, giving a speech, and we actually had to give a talk and whatever. And I literally dropped the mic when I finished, and apparently,
was that intentional or was that like a mistake?
No, it was the kind of thing that, like, I didn't script anything, and I got up there and I did my thing, and when I was done, I thought, okay, drop the mic. But the audio people don't really love that all that much. It's probably best to keep that to an expression. It makes a pretty loud thump when you literally drop the mic, but that was fun.
How did you like Summit Live in LA? What was your takeaway in LA?
I loved it. I loved it. I mean,
next year.
I got a chance to meet so many people that, I'd only communicated with online. I got to meet Eduardo, who was there from Mexico. And
I love Eduardo.
And then I got to see Eduardo at the Never Settle show. So
that was amazing that he flew in from Mexico. I'm just doing one quick thing. Sorry. My little creative mind. He flew in from Mexico to just be on the show, but we certainly gave him the welcome, didn't we?
That was amazing, and he didn't realize that Mario was going to have him on the show, and you were going to give him a gift and everything. I mean, it was an awesome experience, and it was so cool to like meet people in person after you kind of know them online, and it's just like they are who you thought they were.
Well, and that's what I love about online. Right. I think most people are pretty authentic in who they really are online, and what you see is what you get, unless you're doing like a character-based type of thing, like in character doing something. But I feel like that's what I love about live streaming is that you get to meet people, you get to share their stories, you get to then meet in person, and it's just a wonderful experience, and I just hope that it'll definitely go more and more. I have no doubt it will definitely grow in the future, live streaming. Right. Will we ever see a president of the United States live streaming live to the media? Probably, I don't know, maybe like in 2030 or something. Like I said, it's just one of those funny things where we don't know what the future holds, but
right.
Anything's possible, especially with how mobile phones are nowadays. People are getting their info on mobile phones. People are broadcasting on mobile phones. it's exciting, actually, and I think it's a really good time to get in now with live streaming to build your repertoire up, because down the road, brands, and that they talked a lot about that, working with brands and corporations with live streaming. So, for example, one brand I worked with, Dick Blick art stores, they have like over 50 stores nationwide. I was actually live streaming and drawing people at the store, and that was really great because it was good exposure for the company. And then like I was able to do little promotions for the store, like, and that's something you can also offer to people is, hey, this is what I do. This is what I can do. Because it's fascinating to me that a lot of people still don't get live streaming, or they don't really know much about it. That's what I see. I don't know if you see the same.
Now, when you were doing it at a store, was it a repeat thing, or was it like a special event and having a live streamer there and a caricaturist there was like part of the event offering?
Yeah, it was part of the event offering. And I actually do offer it. Some people decline on it. Like if I draw people at parties and events, I do offer it, but some people decline, and that's fine,
But for the store, it was like a special event that they were doing. Yeah. And that's the thing. I mean, when these stores have an event and they think, okay, this is for our customers and we're going to do something special or have a special launch or whatever. And yeah, it's great for your customers who can get there, but think of how many more people you could reach if you showed it live, right? And
exactly. And like Joanne Pham, for example, the founder of Perry Girls, I invited her to the Never Settle show because she was already in New York. She lives out in California. Right. And I was like, oh, what brings you to New York? And she was telling me that she was getting paid to live stream at an event in New York. I think it was like an auto show or something like that. I can't remember exactly, but like a company paid her to do live streaming. And I was like, that's amazing. But like she knows how to, if you need to interview somebody about building your tribe, she is the girl. Like she has built this amazing tribe of women called the Perry Girls. And I think just by keeping consistent and persistent with what you love doing, and she's just such a lovely person. So shout out to Joanne. But my point is, though, you can find companies to pay you to live stream. It is out there. It is possible. And I do think, you can just say live streaming, it's a way of marketing you and your company and getting more people exposed, and they can even visit your Instagram account or Twitter account. It's another unique way to pitch to somebody with live streaming. So, and that's what I usually offer in my packages to corporations and companies. So,
well, speaking of that, we still have some time remaining. If you have any questions for Cathy,
please draw something.
Please do throw them in the chat. But you mentioned people can get in touch with you. CathyNolan.com/call. How do you like people to reach out to you? What do you have going on now that they can do to get in touch with you?
Thank you. So right now, if you want me to draw you, or I'm working right now on a logo for somebody for their business. So I do logo design, and then I know Tina, we'll show you Ross soon. And so right now I'm. Here, just to even make the suspense even more. So currently right now I'm working on a logo design for somebody to promote their business and fine-tuning that. So I do usually sketches. I consult with the client, find out what they want for their brand, and then I implement that in sketches, and then I have them review the sketches, and then we go into fonts and color, and then I usually digitize it. Right. And then I also currently am working to be speaking for Ladies Go Live. So I will be promoting that tomorrow and Wednesday and Thursday, being on the creative panel, working on that. And then also right now, you want to jump in now because I'm doing a storytelling for businesses, how to tell your story creatively and sell your business to your ideal client by sharing who you are. I still need to work on my pitch on that, but I'm in the midst of working on that, putting together some modules and some courses. How can you show who you are and share your story? Because storytelling is so important, especially when you're live streaming. People love stories, and you won't remember a lecture. Do you remember any lectures in like high school? No, of course not.
I gotta admit, I do remember some from college
Oh,
because
okay.
I was, you know, when I went to class, I did sort of like some of the lectures, but that's another story.
Depends on the topic. I'll give you credit for that, Ross. It depends on the topic. But that's true.
But that's because they were often in the form of storytelling.
Exactly.
Because I was a history major, and the best lectures were all about talking about something from 500 years ago,
right.
Almost as if you were talking about your neighbors down the street in a way, but yet while mixing in all the historical movements and intellectual movements and all that going on. So yeah, it was the storytelling aspect that made, I don't remember from a math class a lecture or
exactly. But people will always remember stories. I will remember stories people will have shared, and it something in us just resonates with storytelling. So that's what I'm working on: creative storytelling for businesses. So I'm going to help people think a little bit outside of the box. How can they showcase who they are and share their stories of either what's happened to them in the past or currently going on? A lot of people don't share stories about what's currently going on. It's usually easier to share a story from A to Z because you've already been there, done that.
Right.
So I will be coaching people and helping people once my program is launched, and it'll be creative storytelling. So if people are interested in it, definitely hit me up. Go to cathynolan.com/call, or if you want me to draw you, just let me know who you are and let's connect, and we'll make it happen. So
that's awesome.
All right. So are you ready?
Uh-oh, this is going to be the big reveal.
Only if you're ready.
All right, I'm ready.
Okay. So you do know we did have a solar eclipse today, right? Did you see any of it?
I did see a little bit of it, not in my area, but I saw a little bit of it on TV earlier when they showed that first town in Oregon or whatever. So I did see that.
I saw that on Periscope, actually, which was amazing. So just in case you didn't see the eclipse, here's Ross looking at the eclipse. And then now that it's over, we're just going to take this off. And there's our famous Ross brand. There you go.
Nice.
Watch him on Livestream Universe.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you so much. That's awesome.
I didn't know if you want me to put vote for me on SXSW or Southwest or.
That's not necessary because that'll be over soon. So.
So there you go. That's for you.
I'm gonna put it full. I keep hitting the wrong thing here. I'm gonna make it full screen there. And I'm going to just remove the comments for a second so everybody can see what it looks like.
And tell us what you think. Should I add a little more color or
Oh, it looks great. It's unbelievable.
Or should we just put the glasses back on for the next eclipse?
Yeah, Tina says she loved the solar glasses. Let me bring myself back so it's not just a voice. Eduardo says Ross is a real astronomical event.
That was funny, Eduardo. He's a comedian, isn't he?
Anthony says it's an amazing prop for the office. Tina loved the solar glasses. Mike Murphy says awesome.
Oh, thank you, everybody. Thank you. Make sure you like my Twitter account, Cathy Nolan Art, or on Facebook. And like I said, I just love drawing people and all that. And this was fun, too, because I wasn't under pressure to get 3 drawings done before we go live or anything like that.
So here it is again. I'm putting Cathy on just solo so you can see the drawing and you can see Cathy as well. And you can find out more about what she does at cathynolan.com, at Cathy Nolan Art on social media. She's got her eclipse glasses on. And if you want to reach out and talk to Cathy, it's cathynolan.com/call. You can find out about her program and also perhaps get yourself drawn or get a drawing that's related to your business. So it looks awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on. I'm so glad you were.
It's like a little reunion.
Yeah. When you first told me about the idea of talking to me on I'm going to actually put myself in a little box in the corner. I know you can't see what's going on screen in the back end there, but I'm going to put myself in a little box in the corner so people can see some of the picture but can see your face as well. And I just wanted to say, when you first mentioned the idea of drawing me on during an interview, I thought, well, I just want you to enjoy being on the interview, but you're so good at this. And I saw how quickly and confidently you draw what goes on with Mario's show, that I was like, okay, I guess she won't feel like it's a burden. She really likes loves to do this. So
I absolutely love doing stuff like this. I really do, Ross. So I don't ever want you to think that I was like, no. I need to figure out how I can lively talk to somebody.
Right.
And get an easel here and just still kind of like, talking, because, it's hard because you have to put your head down, make sure I don't color you with like pink, your face, So I'll work on that in my studio, getting that all up and running and stuff. So, but I loved working with you on the Never Settle show. It was so fun. I know we'll be back for season 2, no doubt. And I hope you like the artwork.
I love it. This is really awesome. Thank you so much.
Oh, my pleasure. My absolute pleasure.
I got to say thanks to all these great people in the chat. I mean, what an amazing chat. We had Sabrina Cadini, Anthony, Loyola, Eduardo Guerra, Michael A. Campbell, Michael Murphy, Tina Valant. Wow, so many. Aaron Roth was here.
Awesome.
I know I'm missing some people, but I really appreciate everybody. Kathy Klote's guest was the first person here. Tim McVeigh was here. Just awesome. Thanks everybody for sharing it out as well. Chris Strub was here earlier on. Doug Cohen. And it was so much fun seeing people in like Eduardo and Chris and Azani and Noah, who's going to be my guest next Monday.
I love her. Is she going to sing for you?
I don't know. Maybe she will. Maybe she will. Well, welcome, Pam Gomez. Great to see you. She says, good show, Ross and Cathy. Thanks, Pam. Thanks so much. Thanks, Michael, who says this was so much fun. When are you still doing Periscopes regularly, or when can we find you?
I've been pretty inconsistent. I'm looking to get back on. I'm just traveling overseas next week for family stuff. So my husband's family, they all live overseas. So we're going next week, and I will try to scope from there, actually, like to show people what I see when I go over there. And Facebook Live, I actually like more, only because I feel like you're just connected with people you already know. And I feel like the bandwidth is stronger from Facebook Live. But I will get back into Periscope. I will. Like, I was on it a little bit today saying hi to a few people for the clip. Right. That was kind of cool.
So a final reminder, if you haven't voted for us, myself, Coach Jenny, Monique Johnson, and Karen Graves, to go to South by Southwest and present a panel on Facebook Live for Business, please do so. Livestreamuniverse.com/SXSW, livestreamuniverse.com/SXSW. And do follow Cathy. Her website is cathynolan.com. Her on social, she's at Cathy Nolan Art. And of course, you can set up a call or set up a time for Cathy to draw you by going to cathynolan.com/call. And of course, you can see Cathy at Ladies Go Live, ladiesgolive.com. Reserve your free pass. It's all day Friday, this coming Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern, plus an after party. Lots of great speakers, women from all over the world. Cathy will be on a creativity panel. And since Cathy asked so nicely, I will put up again to vote for us, livestreamuniverse.com/XSSW. And speaking of the Never Settle show, Cathy, the Never Settle show was co-produced by Roker Media, and this Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern, my guest will be John Burke from Roker Media. And you and he were the first two people I interviewed at the very first red carpet. So look forward to having John on and finding out what's up with Roker Media. And of course, he's got his finger on Yeah, he's got his finger on the pulse, not only of what's going on with the Never Settle show, but with what's going on globally through Al Roker and through live streaming and what brands and companies are doing with branded entertainment. And I can't wait to hear what he's got to say because things are moving so quickly. So do join us Thursday night again, 7 p.m. Eastern for Livestream Stars. John Burke from Roker Media is our guest. Cathy, thanks again. This was a blast. Thanks for the drawing. And have a great evening, everybody.
Okay, good night, everybody. Bye.